everyone, and thank you very much for tuning in. I, of course, am Rotype, and we're back here in Factorio with Mouse Gunner, where before we jump into anything else, I want to talk a little bit about the problem that was going on in the end of last episode when Faro was only laying one track. And pretty sure it was related to the separation of tracks here. You'll see my little examples where we had initially laid our tracks with this only one piece in between. And the blueprint for Farl generally operates with this two space in between. And the reason it does that is so you can fit a electric pole like that in the middle. So I believe it was only laying one track because it was trying to do a pole plus the other track with this skinny layout, and it just wasn't working. Things weren't pretty happy. So what we did was we increased the blueprint such to this normal kind of two spacing so the pole will fit, and loaded that back up into Farl using the procedure you saw in the last episode, and off we went. I'll pull up the maps here, and you can see we just took off, and it laid both of the tracks down the way we wanted to. So problem solved.
Yeah, much uglier, but
well, yeah. Don't look down here. That's we'll fix that later. It was just a test run. But now that that is done, we're ready to try and get robots, because we don't actually need to be using the train quite so much right now because we have plenty of resources coming in, at least at the moment. Our copper line is a little, oops, just ran into a pole. Our copper line is a little dry, but if I remember correctly, yeah, we're not even using the entire copper patch. So for now, we're okay on raw resources. So we can head down and try to make robots, which is one of the more exciting things to do in this game. Oh dear. I foolishly took the car right into the middle of the oil section with all the pipes.
I was trying to go up top and I ran into a pipe myself.
Yeah, we'll just fix these quickly. Okay. Lesson learned, don't drive the car near the pipes.
Yeah.
Just go around.
I think up top here is the safest place to drive if it wasn't for all the trees and rocks.
What I normally like to do, and the way I'll be setting up my next solo base, is I'll have well-distinguished and delineated roads everywhere, so you can clearly see where it's safe and the pipes won't be anywhere near the roads. But we're a little haphazard in this setup, so you kind of run into stuff. So many episodes ago, I don't even remember how many episodes ago, we set up the regular engines and the electric engines here, and I made this column of assembling machines, which at the time I think had no recipe because we hadn't even researched yet. But I kind of knew this was the way it was going to be, so I left them here. Now these, as you can see now, are flying robot frames. That's what these little things are. And they take a really long time to craft, and they require all these items you see here: battery, steel plate, etc. And these are pretty much the hardest part of making robots. So the reason I put them here is because, again, they need this electric engine unit, which, conveniently is now right here and being made. And we can just kind of set them up like this, as you can see, and they'll just pull right off of that line to get the electric engine units. Now we just need to get these other items, most of which are on the bus already. The electronic circuits and the steel are already on the bus, and that just leaves batteries as the last thing we really need to make for these. And batteries can be pretty simple if you have everything laid out right. I believe I have some chemical plants here I can use. Now I'm going to try, I did not leave myself quite enough space, but I'm going to try and squeeze in some batteries right about here. But once we get batteries done, we'll have the robot frames. And then once you have the robot frames, actually making robots is just adding an electronic circuit. So the hardest part, as I said, of getting robots is the actual robot frames.
Okay, so you want steel on the line on this side?
Yeah, at this point, it really doesn't matter. Between these four spaces, two half sides, we just need green circuits and steel. So just a half belt of steel on whichever half side is convenient.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and set these up for batteries. And batteries are also pretty simple. I think I already said that, but I have no pipe. Oh, I do have some pipe. It's pretty much just sulfuric acid and then copper and iron plate. So we ran sulfuric acid on the bus, which is a little bit undefined out this far. I'll have to try and measure things. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now, oh, I thought sulfuric acid was on the bus. Yeah, we just haven't drawn it all the way down. Here it is, sulfuric acid. Whoops. That was a disaster. Apparently having a tough time running in a straight line right now.
And I'm just bringing
There
the
we go.
steel
Okay.
over. We're good to go. And I need to get it on half the belt, so...
Yeah, and if we remember, we should do
Oops.
things like this.
Yeah, like that. Is that right?
Yep, that'll work. Yeah. And then from there, I can just put the batteries on the other side of that belt, and we'll be good to go.
Now, just as a refresher, if I deleted this other side of the belt at this T-junction, would it revert to the curve?
Yeah, it would go back into kind of an S curve if you pulled this away.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes leads to little extra pieces of belt hanging around, but it's not too much of a problem.
I need a refresher on what else we need. So we need circuits. I'll get you
green
that.
circuits, yeah, on one side.
Yeah,
I'm going to go here, and we actually, the copper is way back there, so we'll have to go bring the copper up.
You know
at
what?
some point in a second.
I think putting the steel on the other side of the belt is just going to make this whole thing easier. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a little bit of a modification.
Yeah, that'll work. I'm going to run all the way down to where the copper is and bring it up. The nice thing is, this is, obviously we're making robots, so very soon we will have robots, and that will make cleaning up the bus much nicer. We can get all these lanes drawn down the way I always like to have it, and it'll be neat and organized. Make things a lot easier. I'm probably going to run out of belt. So I believe our long reach mod got reset to some not extremely long distance, only like a moderately long reach, which makes me a little upset because I can't just use the map to pick up things like literally all the way across the map. There we go. All right, and batteries don't need any ridiculous amount of these items, the iron and copper, so you can kind of just bring them in half belts. I'll do it like this. Actually, I'll do this one step back. There we go. Just, oh crap. There we go, okay. Good.
Okay, let's get the inserters in here that we're going to need.
All right, a couple more inserters over here, and we'll have batteries. Let's see, one there, another power pole, and one there.
And I thought I had more long handle inserters. I guess we have
I believe I have.
Oh, you have
there
them?
should be a box back not too far away. Yep, I'll just drop a few down.
Oh, okay, you.
Now, oh, I didn't think about how to get the batteries out of the machine. Let's see, how do I want to do that? I think I want to move my sulfuric acid. Just one space. The nice thing about batteries is that they produce pretty slowly, so you don't have to worry about fast inserters or anything like that. Regular old inserters will work just fine. There we go. And now I gotta fix this deck here. And I'm out of pipe. Let's see, we're making pipe around here somewhere, right? Putting into a box. Here it is. Oh, that's a filter inserter. There we go.
Ooh, I had a little bit of a hiccup there
Yeah.
in the game. All right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose it is alpha. That happens. So what I'm gonna do, actually, I suppose I could have run it. Actually, yeah, I have to run it the other way. That was a mistake.
I don't know. It just seems like all of a sudden the game's running a little choppy for me.
That's interesting.
Well, I'll let it go, but if it becomes a problem, we'll probably take a little break and see what I can do to sort it out.
Yeah, is it like unplayable or just kind of
No, it's
weird
fine.
lag?
It's just a little bit of, I don't know, just stutteriness in the animations.
Interesting. Wow, this electric pole mess. But it gets the job done. And now we are making flying robot frames, which is excellent. So what I generally like to do with flying robot frames, pretty much just dump them and actually go down onto this one. Because here is where we're going to make the robots, and that's what this one is. And then I'll put another one here. And this will be the other kind of robot. So the bottom one here, these are our construction robots. And they will construct and deconstruct things, including trees and rocks, which is probably the best feature. The logistic robots are more of the kind of delivery system. So you can imagine if you didn't want to run belts everywhere, you could just have a robot come and pick up the item and drop it off somewhere else, including yourself. So you can set up a little bit later. I don't believe we had the research yet for it. You can set up things that you always want to have in your inventory, and the logistic robots will do that. They'll go get it, make sure you have it.
Hey,
So it's pretty handy, as you might imagine.
we need more circuits, though, from what I was seeing.
Yeah, so these construction robots need green circuits and the logistic robots need red circuits. So what I usually like to do is just run a half belt of each just down right about here. One half green, one half red.
All right, well, I'll get your green.
Now I'll just finish up these flying robot frames.
Oop, pipe in the
There
way.
we go. Now they're all hooked up. And let's just put these in a box for now. That'll do just fine.
Okay. Red circuits, they never made it on the bus, did they?
I thought they were on the bus. Let's look at the map. Let's go. Maybe not. We don't have a radar in the middle section there to zoom in, but looks like they aren't on the bus, which means we will probably need to make them somewhere and put them on the bus. That should probably be our next activity. Because everything we pretty much get working on from here on will need red circuits.
Oh, I see. So you need radar to be able to see in the full resolution when you zoom in. Okay.
Right. Which is, a rather new feature in the 0.15 patch, but man, I can't live without it already. Like, I just got used to it immediately.
Well, we probably need a radar in this area anyway, so you think we should just plot
It's
one
always
down?
useful. Yeah, it's useful to have pretty much just covering your base, And if you want to be finicky about it, you can tile them perfectly so there's no overlap and all that stuff, but really you just kind of want full coverage.
Okay, well, I'm making a radar right now. Trying to figure out where we've got that good resolution and where we don't. I wonder if, because we're standing in this area, it clears that, because I could have swore this area we didn't have vision.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, that's exactly it. You get that good resolution if I guess you can kind of think of it as a person provides the radar, service if they're standing there.
Okay.
So whoops, I can kind of run out of the way.
That's fine. I mean, I'm
Looks like
standing here.
We have the beginnings of a red circuit set up for the bus. It looks like we just never finished it. So I will go ahead and just work on that. This is actually probably so old that it's using the 0.14 patch ratio, which changed in 0.15. Okay, so from here, we just need plastic and green circuits. Well, I can just hook those up. Conveniently right here.
Where I'm standing is where the production is. I think. So I think this is going to be our bus line.
No, I think that is our science bus line.
Oh, okay.
Well, so it depends. Yeah, so different people have different theories on if you want to produce something and devote it to science only, which is generally my habit because I don't know, I feel like science has its priority, so I want science to have its own setup of stuff. And then if you need the things for something else, you do it somewhere else. So that's kind of why we have this line here, I presume. I don't remember building it, but...
All right, so we just need to get this on the bus then.
Yeah. Yep, and I'm going to go ahead and throw a balancer just right here. It says, balance lines make me happy. Now, I don't remember where on the bus we were putting red circuits.
I have no clue.
Let's just put them in next to plastic. It should be fine. So we'll bring it in like that. That'll work.
Oh, okay. We already had some lines.
This should be here. Clear this. There we go. Yeah, I don't remember what this was originally going to be, but it's red circuits now.
Oh, I'm out of underground belt.
Let's see, here to here. Oh, something interesting is happening here. There we go.
Oop. Oh.
The bus never goes underground. At least that's my habit.
No, it's probably my fault that it was doing that in the first place.
Else. There we go. Okay, we should have a decent number of... Oh man, we didn't underground anything, did we?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oops, that's way too far. There we go. Okay, and of course there's a tree in the way, because why not? All right. He says before there's actually done. I have a habit of being like, almost done or almost there when, I don't know why I say these things, because there's always more things that need to be done. Always more work.
Oh. I've actually run out of belt.
I believe, yeah, we're right underneath the belt area, so not too far to go for that. There we go. All right. It's been a long walk, but now we have red circuits as well. The nice thing is we have a good stack here of construction robots all ready for us. So the next question, I suppose, is how do I use the robots? And to use the robots, you need a RoboPort, which are pretty expensive. They require a ton of steel plate, a ridiculous amount of iron gear wheels, and advanced circuits. I happen to have enough stuff in my inventory to make 4, so I'm just going to make them. Some people automate them, some people don't. You kind of only need a certain number, but it's always hard to kind of judge what that number is going to be. So we can possibly automate them. I'm a little lazy, so for now I'll probably just pocket craft them, although making 145 iron gear wheels in my pocket is taking a lot longer than I had wanted. So maybe we will automate them in a little bit, but once you get roboports, you'll be able to space them out across your base, and that will define the zones of coverage for your robots. And that'll make a lot more sense once I actually have one and can demonstrate. In the meantime, I'm going to clean up the bus a little. I don't know why this is just like OCD work. I have to do it. There we go. Just looks so much nicer this way.
I think it looked fine the way it was, but
I mean, everybody plays differently. There we go. Okay, and this does need to be here. 23 more iron gear wheels, and I'll be able to make a roboport. So let's see. Let me look at the map here and try to plan what our robo network is going to look like. Again, this base is a little haphazard, so we don't have like specific lanes for roboports. Similar to what I was talking about, how the way I lay out spaces for roads, I also sometimes lay out spaces for roboports to make sure I get coverage. Okay, good. I have a roboport now, so I will put one down so you can pick it up and follow along with me. But when you pick it up and you go to place it, like you click on it, you'll see 2 very large squares. You'll see an orange one and a green one. The orange one is what's called the logistics range or supply area, I guess it's technically called, on the right bar. That is where you can stand and get logistics coverage. The logistics robots operate in the orange box, and if you put any type of logistics equipment, take this and bring it somewhere else, boxes, stuff like that, that will operate in the orange. The green is where the construction robots operate, and they will demolish trees, pick up anything you mark to demolish. They will operate in the green area. So if I place this here, it has no robots. I'll put some robots that I have, and you'll see they are going to go off. I don't know what they're up to. There's probably a command. Oh, these trees. So if you see all these trees up here, they're all marked with an X, and they are in the green zone. So these robots are going to go and get them. Right now, they don't have a place to put them, but we can talk about that in the next episode because we're already a little bit over. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We now have robots. Exciting from here. My name has been Rotype. He's been Mouse Gunner, and we'll see you next time.